Welcome to the Pencil Bob channel. I hope you enjoy my stories. Please like and subscribe, and hit that notification icon so you never miss out. Now on with the stories.
Finesse money from me. I'll finesse more out of you. I was using a dating app a while ago and was talking to a cute girl. I had noticed on her profile page she had some statements that raised my eyebrows. Basically, it was her saying she was looking for a friend with benefits, FWB, and she can perform certain sexual acts with her body. Now I get that we all have wants and needs and that they should be properly expressed given the time and place. Wanting sex is fine, but most girls wouldn't put that on their profile out of fear of inviting the wrong people. And for her to do so unabashedly had my warning lights flicker dimly in my head. Still, I put it in the back corners of my mind as she hadn't really said anything weird while messaging each other. Eventually, I asked her about it, which set her off on a tangent on what she was wanting and willing to do to me in bed. Of course, I was getting fed into it and asked when she wanted to meet up. She told me that she'd be down to meet up, but she needed some money to pay her grandma to watch her child. Weird. In the history me dating single moms, I have never heard of someone having to pay their family members, especially their grandma, to babysit for them. I chalked it up to it being some weird family dynamic, or she just bugged her grandma a lot to that point. She then asked if I could give her $50 for babysitting. I told her I didn't have that on me. She lowered it to about $30, which I told her I have about $15 in the bank. She said that was fine. I sent her the money via Cash App and told her where I'd be. She never responded. After an hour of waiting, I saw she accepted the money, but blocked me on the dating app. I realized that the stuff she put on her profile was so she can finesse horny desperate guys out of their money, which it did work unfortunately. Now it was just a mere $15, but I was mad that I got finessed. Some months later, this girl matches with me again. I wondered where she got the nerve to match with me after what she did and was about to dress her down. But during her messages I realized that she didn't even recognize me. The months after her finessing, I edited my profile pictures, updated my bio, and even changed my name to my middle name. My pictures were still me, but this time with a beard and a lot more mature looking. Her, however, still had the same provocative bio and pictures. About 3 weeks had passed since then. As she talked, I felt that the energy was much different and pieced together that she was actually feeling this version of me. I didn't ask about her bio this time, which caught her attention. She started saying about how guys always want to talk about it and that she'll pretend to be interested and trick them into doing goofy-ass shit. I don't know why she thought that was something that needed to be shared with anyone, but hearing it pissed me off even more. She said she liked that I didn't focus on her bio and that I seemed more genuine. This is when I started coming up with a plan. I started talking about how I wanted to go on a date and started listing a few nice and popular restaurants that she had told me about months prior. It lit up her spirit as she started asking when we should go out. I gave her a time, date, and place, and we settled on it. Throughout the week leading up to it, I would hype her up, reminding her of the date, and telling her things like she doesn't have to worry about paying, she can order whatever she liked, etc., etc. On the eve of our date night, I messaged her saying that she didn't need to worry about her paying. I got her, but there was a slight problem. My car battery died on the way to get gas. Asked if she could lend me $45 to buy a new battery from the auto store nearby. Told her that we were still on for the date and that I would pay her back once I got paid the following day, as I was using the remaining money to take her out. Honestly, I thought it was a really stupid attempt to get her to send me money, but to my incredible astonishment, she asked me for my Cash App info. I quickly created a new Cash App account and sent her the info. Moments later, I got the notification that $45 got sent to my account. I thanked her and told her I'll get the battery and meet her at the restaurant. She replied that she was so excited to meet me and how much fun we were going to have and the like. As soon as she said that, I blocked her number and dating profile. Meanwhile, I haven't even left the house or put clothes on. Hours after our supposed meet-up, I get a call from an unknown number. I pick up and it's her. She cussing me out, crying about how I stood her up. How could I do something like this to her, blah blah blah. Then I dropped the line, how could I do this to you? I did this to you because you've already done it to me. She was confused and got a bit quiet. I told her that I was the guy she finessed $15 from months ago, and how steated she was for not paying attention to my pics because I didn't look all that different from before. That's when she realized who I was and started cursing me the F out. I ended the call telling her to let it all out. It's good for you, and that's what she gets for finessing people. Also that I was changing my number regardless if she decides to continue reaching out. I felt satisfied and celebrated playing Fortnite. 3-1 matches straight. Sweet, sweet revenge. I never thought I'd be the kind of person to seek revenge, but life has a way of surprising you. My name's John, and for 15 years I was in business with a guy that first thought was my friend. Let's call him Mike. We started out small, just the two of us with big dreams and bigger ambitions. Over time our company grew, and so did Mike's ego. I was always the minority shareholder, holding on to my 20% like it was a lifeline. Mike and his wife Sarah held the other 80%. Now Sarah never lifted a finger for the business, but she got her shares anyway. Mike said it was for tax purposes, but I always suspected there was more to it. Things were okay for a while, or at least I thought they were. We had our ups and downs, like any business, but I believed we were in it together. That all changed 3 years ago when Mike started talking about retirement. He wanted to sell his and Sarah's shares to me. I was excited at first. This was my chance to take control of the company I'd helped build. We agreed on a price, and I started making preparations. I was ready to take on the responsibility, to lead the company into a new era. But then, just as we were about to seal the deal, Mike pulled the rug out from under me. He changed the terms of the sale, doubling the price we'd agreed on. I couldn't believe it. Our business had been struggling. Turnover and profits were down by 30%. How could he justify doubling the price? I tried to negotiate, to make him see reason, but it was like talking to a brick wall. Months went by and we got nowhere. In the end, I felt I had no choice but to leave the company. But I wasn't going to go quietly. I'd given 15 years of my life to this business, and I wasn't about to let Mike push me out without a fight. I decided to take legal action against him for constructive dismissal and persecution of minority shareholders. I had a solid case on both fronts. Mike had been abusing the company for his own benefit for years. I thought maybe he'd see sense once I filed the claim. Maybe he'd realize he'd gone too far and we could settle this like reasonable adults. But no, Mike being Mike, he dragged it out all the way to tribunal. As the case progressed, I made sure my lawyer had every piece of information we needed. I'd been keeping notes for years, documenting every broken promise, every lie. But there was one piece of information I'd only discovered after I left the company, and it was a doozy. For years, Mike had been paying about £40,000 a year to a consultant for financial advice. It always seemed a bit steep to me, but I'd never questioned it too closely. After I left, I started digging into this mysterious consultant. What I found shocked me to my core. There was no consultant. The money was going to a woman Mike had gotten pregnant on the side. He'd set up a business with her as a director and was funneling the money to her that way. It was clever, I'll give him that. But it was also incredibly sleazy and definitely illegal. When we presented this information at the tribunal, the room went dead silent. I'll never forget the look on Sarah's face when she heard. It was like watching someone's world crumble in real time. Mike tried to talk over my lawyer, claiming it was all lies, but the evidence was irrefutable. The case was pretty straightforward after that. The tribunal ruled in my favor on all counts. Mike's carefully constructed house of cards came tumbling down around him. Last I heard, Sarah had kicked him out and he was living in a flat with his son. You might think I'd feel triumphant, vindicated even. And sure, there was a part of me that felt satisfied seeing Mike finally face consequences for his actions. But mostly, I just felt tired and a little sad. 15 years is a long time to work alongside someone. Despite everything, there had been good times too. We'd celebrated victories together, weathered storms side by side. I thought we were friends, partners. Finding out it had all been a lie, that Mike had been using me and the company for his own gain all along, it hurt more than I care to admit. In the months since the tribunal, I've had a lot of time to reflect. Was it worth it? The stress, the sleepless nights, the constant anger and frustration? Part of me says yes. I got justice, after all. I proved that Mike couldn't just walk all over me and get away with it. But another part of me wonders if I could have handled things differently. If maybe there was a way to resolve things without destroying everything we'd built together. But then I remember all the lies, all the broken promises, and I know that this was the only way it could have ended. I've started a new business now on my own terms. It's smaller, but it's mine. Every decision, every success, every failure, it's all on me. And you know what? I prefer it this way. No more looking over my shoulder wondering if I'm being lied to or taken advantage of. Sometimes I think about Mike, wonder how he's doing. Is he sorry for what he did? Does he regret throwing away our partnership, his marriage, his reputation, all for a bit of extra cash and a fling on the side? I'll probably never know. What I do know is that I'm done letting other people determine my worth. I'm done being the minority shareholder in my own life. From now on, I'm calling the shots. It's funny in a way. Mike always used to say that business was war, that you had to be ruthless to succeed. I never agreed with him. I always thought that honesty and hard work were enough. Turns out we were both right and both wrong. Sometimes you do have to fight for what's yours, but not by lying or cheating. You fight by standing up for yourself, by refusing to be pushed around. In the end, that's what this whole ordeal taught me. It's not about revenge, not really. It's about self-respect, about knowing your worth and refusing to accept anything less. It's about being able to look at yourself in the mirror every morning and know that you're doing the right thing, even when it's hard. So yeah, I got my revenge on my old business partner. But more importantly, I got my self-respect back, and that, more than any legal victory or financial settlement, is what makes me feel like I've truly won. As I sit here in my new office looking out over the city, I can't help but feel a sense of peace. The anger, the bitterness, it's all fading away. In its place is a quiet determination. I've been through the fire and come out the other side stronger. Whatever challenges come my way now, I know I can handle them. To Mike, wherever he is now, I want to say thank you. Not for the partnership or the business lessons, but for showing me what I'm capable of when pushed to my limits. I hope he finds a way to make things right with his family, to rebuild his life. As for me, I'm looking forward. There's a whole world of possibilities out there, and this time I'm facing them on my own terms.
I would like to thank you for watching the video to the end. To encourage us to make more videos, please like, subscribe, comment, as well as share. Check out this other video if you haven't already.